Hello, welcome. This is Forsaken Parents Podcast with Lynne Lara and Leigh Evans. Who are forsaken parents, you ask? Well, first, they are men and women who have been rejected or estranged by one or more of their adult children. Second, they are men and women who have gone through a tremendous amount of pain and suffering because of that rejection. But what have they done that is so terrible that they would be kept away from their families, even their grandchildren? Most of them have no idea. And the truth is that they're right not to understand what's happening, because the truth is also that they have nothing to do with what is going on. Yet it is these loving men and women who are being blamed for something they haven't done. At times, they're blamed by other family members. They might be blamed by their doctor or a counselor, a close friend. Why, they even blame themselves. There have been columns in the local newspapers where they blame them. If you watch Dr. Phil, how many times have you seen him blame them? Remember Dr. Laura? She's sure to blame more mothers than fathers. But it's true. These mothers and fathers, these forsaken parents, honestly don't know what they have done that is so horrendous that it keeps them from their families, even the grandchildren that they love so much. Well, Lynn and I will be talking about all of these things and more here on our podcast. Lynn has been a psychotherapist for years, and now she's added life coach with a specialization of parental estrangement. I am so thankful that we have Lynn. Never in my life had I ever encountered something like this, and when my daughter estranged me, I was devastated. It was the most painful thing that ever happened. And I found Lynn, and she helped me with the videos that she had, and she's here to help you with everything, all the knowledge and wisdom that she has in her years and years of counseling and her training. Lynn and I are both estranged parents just like you. I think that means that we know what you're going through because we've been through it. Almost all therapists lay the causes of parental estrangement at the feet of the parent who is accused by their adult child. But Lynn will teach you that this simply isn't true, and she'll give you suggestions about what you can do to change what is happening. Our podcast is here for you. We are not here to judge you. We're here to offer you our compassion and caring and understanding. And we are here also to answer your emails. If you have questions or things that you would like answered by Lynn on air, please feel free to email me at forsakenparents1@gmail.com. That's forsakenparents, plural, with an S, the number 1, @gmail.com. Now, let's get started, shall we? Are you there, Lynn?
I am. Leigh, I'm right here.
Yay!
Yes, it's a miracle. We had to struggle to get on today, didn't we?
Yes.
and every single time you say that we care, I just want to go, yes, we really do. I want to speak up at that moment. We care so much about all of you. So I heard from a mother this morning before the podcast, and she's having such a hard time. I invited her to be a guest, but we really don't know how to do that yet. Maybe she can be a guest in the next few days. I just care about all of you guys. And, that's the only good thing. And I know I've said this before. That's the only good thing about my having been estranged by my own daughter, is that I had to wake up and smell the roses. I don't know if that really fits here, but it came out of me. Wake up and understand that I hadn't done anything to deserve anything any way that she was treating me. I was amazed more and more. I became an outsider in my own family. And I couldn't believe that it was happening. And there was no reasoning for it. I hadn't done anything to deserve it. And then I heard that there were other mothers and fathers going through the same thing. And I went, wait a minute. If I didn't do anything wrong, then the rest of you most likely didn't do anything wrong. And as I got to know you, and I began to post on the internet, I found out, yes, it's true. You really don't deserve any punishment for anything you've done. You've been good mothers and fathers. And then I found out that most likely we are better mothers and fathers than mothers and fathers who don't get rejected. And the reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, is because we're the parents who care about them, and they know how much we care and that we'll do anything to help them. But they need a way to let their anger out, anger that they've had since they were little children, and anger that came about because of the situation in their family, in your family. But they never let their anger out. They didn't. It wasn't safe for them to say, I'm really angry with you, mommy or daddy. And so there they were stuck, and that anger has been inside of them for years. And as they become adults, it comes out more clearly. They don't understand it. It's misplaced anger. They target it toward you, and that's what makes it misplaced. But you're safe for them, S-A-F-E, safe for them to be angry with, because you're not going to get angry back. You're not going to tell them get out of your life. For the most part, most of you aren't. Some of you do, and that's your mothering or your parenting skill and the way you decide to do it. I would never do that to my daughter because I don't want her to leave me. And she has left me, but I don't want it to happen. I will always, always want her in my life, no matter how long this takes. So I can't be deceitful or put up fake anger in order to make that look like I'm angry. I couldn't do that at all. That's not the kind of person I am. And Leigh's right. This is another time that I respond emotionally while she's reading this welcoming every day. I just forgot what I wanted to say. We're not here to judge you. We don't want to judge you. We don't want you to judge us. That's why I couldn't believe it. I had a lot of women who all came from the same website who were judging me. And I went, why are they doing that? They were anything that I told you, which was I wasn't going to charge you. There is no charge for any of my videos or to be here now with the podcast. And they were saying, did I say charge? Did I say judge? Leigh, did I just say judge?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, of course we're not going to judge you. But I mean about charging you. I've never charged you a cent for anything that I've done. And I've spent hours and hours and hours writing letters back to you. But I didn't want to charge. And they called me a liar and said that I would if I got the chance. I was just putting on a front. They said I didn't have any education. I bet I'm saying this too much. But it was all true. And I was so shocked that women and men, mainly this was women, were judging me and calling me a liar when I wasn't. It just shocked me. How could they do that to a fellow estranged parent? I never understood it. I probably never will. However, it's over now. And if you start again, I think this time I will take steps to put a stop to it, because this time it's not just about me. It's about Leigh as well. So Okay, and it isn't that I'll fight for her and not fight for myself. I want to fight for all of you. Just one last thing about it. When I went to see two men, both of the cloth, one was a priest, a Catholic priest, and the other was a pastor in a born-again church. And the priest said, again, you think that they're doing that to hurt you, don't you? You think that this is hurting you, don't you? And I said, well, yes. And he said, it's not. It's hurting the parents. The parents are not getting the help that they desperately need because of what these women are doing. So, and the pastor was not happy either with what was happening. So, okay. I'm going to try something differently, and I don't know if it'll work, but I have a letter that's on my computer, and because my new computer isn't working already, then I have to minimize my connection with you, Leigh. Just minimize it. I think I'll still be connected and go to where I have the letters that I wanted to read to all of you today, and we're going to try this and see if it works. So
Okay.
all I'm going to do is minimize it, and if somehow we get disconnected, will you send me another link, and I'll just forget about doing it this way. Okay. I'm trying it right now. Thanks, Leigh. Are you still there?
I'm with you still.
Oh, Leigh, it's working.
Yes.
This is easy. Okay.
Amazing, I know.
Now we know something new that we can do.
Yes.
Oh, this is great. Okay. I'm opening up this file now. Okay. This is this young woman, young adult child. She's just graduated from high school, and she writes to this counselor I'm calling her Sheryl. That isn't her actual name. Okay, dear Sheryl, all I ever wanted was to get away from my mother. When I was in high school, she would be on me for this or for that. She never left me alone. Then I got pregnant, and she actually talked about me keeping the baby. I couldn't do that. The baby deserved a good home, and I needed to grow up before I started a family. I knew what was best, not my mother. Later on, I wanted to go to college, and you wouldn't believe it. She wouldn't give me any money to pay for my tuition, so I didn't get to go. My mother is still overbearing to this day. She just never lets up on me. I've got to get out of here. She's driving me crazy. Once in a while, she says something about my abortion. She talks about my not going to college a lot. She gripes about the dates I'm having. I can't stand her. What do you think? I love the things you say to other girls who write to you. You're the best. Love you lots. Share. And this is what Sheryl, is that what I called her? Yes, Sheryl. This is what Sheryl answers. You understand that I'm not using real names on any of these. Well, Sharon, are there any reasons you want to stay? I sure wouldn't. She sounds like a real bitch. Am I allowed to say that, Leigh? I think so.
Wow. Okay.
She sounds like a real bitch. And it's probably been going on all of your life, hasn't it? I feel for you, woman. You need to get out of there pronto. And you need to never look back. Close the door behind you. It's your mother who is a loser. Don't bother with her ever again. Who needs someone like that always riding them? You need freedom. Cut the strings, the ties that bind, 'cause they're sure going to ruin your chances for a good lifetime and having the fun you deserve in life. Say adios, mamacita. That's what I suggest. No more contact. Are you still there, mothers?
Oh. Wow.
I'm taking a drink of coffee right now.
I'm picking myself up off the floor.
Yeah, that's painful.
Oh,
That's
yes,
painful.
it is.
And that's only one. I found so many.
Mm.
So, listen, first of all, I want to be honest about this. because there are so many therapists who work hard to help couples split apart. My first, 15, 20 years of being in private practice, I focused on marriage counseling, helping couples stay together. And when they would come in, and they would say, if they would say, we want to get a divorce and we want you to help us, I would say, let me be honest with you folks. I'm not here to help people separate. I'm here to help families and marriages stay together. There would be no joy for me to sit and help you break apart. I just don't want to do it. It isn't why I became a therapist. So I suggest that you go see another therapist, and I would give them someone else's name and phone number. But that was true. I always worked, and I made a lot of money. So yes, I worked to make a lot of money, but the real reason that I worked as a therapist was for the joy of helping people. And that's the reason that I became a therapist who helps all of you, if you let me, go back together with your adult children. If they will let us do that. And I've had so many ideas of things that I could do to help that. And the latest one is this Christmas album. If you listen to Friday's program, we talked about putting together an album that has pictures in color and that you have little descriptions of what was going on when that picture was taken, recipes of yours, and that you give that to your families for Christmas presents. So you've got what was the date of that program? Do you remember?
It was last Friday.
Yeah.
It's Forsaken Parents with Lynne and Leigh 7.
7. Oh, okay. So I don't need to know the date. So let's remember that. Forsaken Parents with Lynne and Leigh, number 7.
Right.
Okay. That's easier than the date, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so, but what I started to say is that I heard therapists on the television, on radio, work toward helping people split apart. The only time that I'll work toward helping someone split apart is when the husband or the wife, especially the wife, is being physically abused and or emotionally abused. There's no reason to stay and live with that. And then, but still I worked because that was always, almost 99% of the time, alcoholism was involved in that. So then I would work with the spouse who was an alcoholic, so that they would begin to get sober, get into a 12-step program, become a decent person to live with, and then their marriage was saved. So I never gave up on their marriages. So I'm not that kind of therapist. And I'm not the kind of therapist who agrees or wants to be a part of helping you split apart from your child. I don't want that. I don't think that's the answer. It isn't the answer in my life. I don't want it to be the answer in your life. But this is my answer to Sharon, although she's not mine to answer. I just did this because it was so hard. I didn't write to her either because she was writing to another counselor to get the response that she wanted to hear, which was that you've got a crappy mother, get rid of her. Terrible. It was painful, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, to hear that. And
yes.
That a therapist would say that or a counselor would say that. Okay, listen, this is my answer to that girl, though. I want you to know this. Yes, it's time for her to leave. I couldn't wait when I graduated from high school. I couldn't wait to get out on my own. It was thrilling. So yes, there's nothing wrong with children when they're 18 and older leaving home. In fact, I think it's healthy. But So I don't disagree with her leaving. But once you're out of the house, first of all, she's got to have a way to make money. I didn't have a lot of money. You know what? My girlfriends and I all got together and we pooled any money that we could, and then we had enough. I mean, it was fun. We were doing well. But she's got to have some money to pay rent. And she's got to have a car that will help. But kids work that out. So I'm not worried about any of that. What I'm worried about is the fact that what this counselor has recommended is a total splitting apart between a mother and a daughter. And this counselor honestly doesn't know the serious ramifications that she's aiming toward. She has no idea. First of all, the damage that she's doing to the parent. Secondly, the possible damage that she might be doing to the adult child. Look, we don't not need our parents just because we graduated from high school. The things that her mother has recommended for her about the abortion, about the other things that she's been writing her on, the mother needs to stop and begin to let the daughter grow on her own, grow up and be a woman. But the mother's love never needs to go away. And the girl's love that she has for her mother, that's in there somewhere, always needs to remain intact. It doesn't mean that they have to split apart permanently. Not at all. Just split apart physically. That's all that's necessary. The girl needs to be out on her own. But for a therapist, a counselor, to call a parent names, to insinuate things that she really doesn't know, I think that that's almost malpractice. Malpractice. I mean that sincerely. And one of the hardest things that I dealt with was if a couple or if one person wanted to get an abortion, and I really do try to stay away from any kind of judgment unless someone's really doing something to hurt themselves. If it's possible not to have an abortion, but to give this young life a chance to live and be adopted is a really good thing. But I hope you're watching this program. I don't know what station it's on, but I watch it every week and I cry. And it's about young adults finding their adoptive, or not their adoptive, but their biological mother. And so that's what they do, and they find them, and then they get to be back together. And the point is that all children who are adopted never give up. 99% of them never give up, wondering why they were given up, wondering what their biological mother or father was like. And it's a tremendously important thing in their life. While I'm at this, I want to say this, and you'll hear me say it many times. Grandparents are very important in a child's life, an adult child, in a little child's life. They're very important. But grandparents are not nearly as important as parents are. Therefore, I very much believe that unless the child is being raised in a terribly abusive home by their mother or father, that they should stay in that home rather than have their grandparents try to to have them. Yeah, to adopt them? No, just to bring them into their home. Because the parents have got to work it out that way. and become better parents. It's got to happen, or the child will just continue to try to make it happen. I don't think I'm going to do a big program on that sometime, maybe 2 or 3 sessions. So how long have I been on now, Leigh? I'm not on my...
26
Okay.
minutes.
Okay. So it's just about time. This young woman, Sheryl, did end up, she got an abortion. Yeah. So listen, it's not up to me to judge you, but I will tell you that when people came into my office, if they were asking me, I would do what I could to help them make a decision so that the baby could live, whether they were going to keep it or not. But I knew I had, 8 more months to work with on them to help them with that. So I don't know if I've just been clear, but I will be someday. Okay, you guys, I think I'm done. Leigh, how was today's program for you?
It was good, and I will hold on. I do not want to be one of the parents that lets go. I thought about it. I have to admit, I've thought about it. I thought it would be easier that way, but I'm not. I can't, and that's why I'm here. I'm holding on, and will continue to hold.
Okay, but holding on doesn't mean writing and calling when you're not necessarily wanted
Correct.
to be heard from. Yeah,
Correct.
so I'm saying that for everybody else.
Right.
I'm a holder on her too. I'm her mother.
Yes.
She's my daughter. I can't do anything about that. And spiritually, we really do have no choice at all. So, but I don't judge those of you who are looking for ways to go, get out of my life. I don't want it anymore. I've had it with you. I don't have judgment. I try not to. I just think that it's probably much deeper than you think, mother who's doing that, mothers who are doing that. But whatever works for you, I just want your happiness, and that is the truth. Your happiness, and I give anything if you and your kids could come back together and you would be a part of your family again. Anything else about that you have any questions or that you think I missed today, Leigh?
No, but if our listeners do have questions, we ask you and urge you, please email us at forsakenparents1, the number 1, @gmail.com.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
we look forward to hearing from you. Like us on Facebook.
Wait,
And
Leigh,
yes.
wait. We got one more commercial now.
Oh,
and
go ahead.
Will you please go look at tell them where to go to look at the cover of the beautiful, I forget what the title of the book is. And it's not time to buy it yet, but go look at it and see what you think. And start gathering your photographs that you want to put together for the album. It's your Christmas present to your child this year. And I think it's going to help some of you go back together again. I hope. It won't hurt. That's for sure. So I want you to think about getting this. But we need to know, because you're going to have to do it. Because Leigh and I are the ones who are going to edit it and help you with it. So, okay, was that a good job, Leigh?
That was. It's called Beautiful Mothers Are Forever. And the cover.
Beautiful Memories. For Beautiful Memories.
Or Beautiful Memories Are Forever.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on our program with Forsaken Parents with Lynne and Leigh, and it was number 7.
Good.
And that's when we talk about that. So like us on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook. We are on Facebook. We are at Forsaken Parents Unite, and links will be there for you. A podcast where you can listen to the podcast will be there. We're on iTunes, and we're on Android phones now.
That's amazing.
isn't it?
I'm
It is.
sorry. I can't help it. I just go, you know what? This is wonderful, Leigh. You are doing the most wonderful job in the world.
Oh, thank you. And I want everyone out there to know we're doing this for you. We're doing this for you. Everything. Because we care about you. And so I guess we'll say good day. Have a good day. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.